Breaking news, and when I say breaking, I mean your phone screen might just crack from the shock of this one. Love and Hip Hop has officially turned into a full-blown soap opera with a DNA test twist straight out of Maury. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Rasheeda is pregnant and Kirk Frost is not the father. Yeah, I'll give you a second to process that. The internet is losing its collective mind. Hashtags, think pieces, and fan wars exploding faster than a fight scene at a reunion special. But hold on, it gets worse. Word on the street says Kirk completely snapped like flip-thittable break, though phone cow security snapped, and the alleged baby daddy. Let's just say this man might be a little too close for comfort. Now, how did a once power couple go from business goals to headline chaos overnight? Who leaked the receipts? Who's lying? And why does this whole thing smell like a publicity stunt gone wrong? I'm telling you, this isn't just a scandal, this is a career earthquake, a brand implosion. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest betrayal in love and hip-hop history. Buckle up, because this tea is hot, messy, and scalding all the way to Atlanta. It all began with one random post that no one took seriously until it started spreading like wildfire across every gossip page in Atlanta. Someone had leaked what looked like official paperwork, the kind of thing that could ruin a career, and within minutes the name Rasheeda was everywhere. At first, people thought it was just another fan-made rumor, but the tone changed when a few insiders began hinting that the pregnancy was real. That alone would have been enough to make headlines, but then came the real shock. Kirk Frost was not the father. The moment those words hit the internet, the comment sections exploded. People who had once called them the perfect couple were suddenly rewriting history, digging up every clip, every episode, every side-eye moment from the past 10 years, and saying they saw this coming. It was chaos, pure and simple, the kind of drama that fuels the entire love and hip-hop machine. Kirk, according to people who claim to know him, went from calm to furious in record time. He was seen leaving a bar looking like he had just seen a ghost, mumbling under his breath, trying to make sense of the world collapsing around him. When he got home, he didn't find a tearful confession or an apology waiting. He found Rasheeda sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone as if the internet hadn't just declared her the most talked about woman in hip-hop reality TV. That's when things got ugly. He asked straight out if the rumors were true, and she gave him that blank stare that only makes a guilty person look guiltier. The argument that followed could have powered a whole season's worth of content. Neighbors later said they heard shouting, glass breaking, and someone yelling the word liar loud enough to echo down the street. Inside the house, phones were smashed, tempers flared, and years of hidden resentment spilled out all at once. Kirk accused her of betrayal, of humiliation, of ruining everything they had built. While Rasheeda shot back, reminding him of every time he had embarrassed her in public. Every mistress, every headline she had to survive. It wasn't just one fight, it was every fight they'd ever had playing out in one long meltdown. But underneath all that noise there was something else, a fear that this time there was no camera crew to cut away. No producer to calm things down, no script to hide behind. The story had left the show and entered real life. And that's when another rumor surfaced, whispered in the comments sections and group chats that keep the internet alive at night. That the baby didn't just belong to another man, but to someone much closer to Kirk than anyone could have guessed. Someone who had shared dinners, laughs, and maybe secrets with them both. Suddenly this wasn't just a scandal. It was betrayal at a level that even VH1 couldn't write. By the next morning, the internet had turned into a digital war zone filled with conspiracy threads, fake receipts, and endless live streams of people claiming they knew the real story behind Rasheeda's pregnancy. Everyone wanted answers, but nobody had facts, only whispers and half-truths. A video began to circulate showing Kirk storming out of a studio, his face tense and his phone ringing non-stop while his friends tried to calm him down. Reports claimed that moments before he had seen a leaked clip of Rasheeda sitting in a dimly lit hotel room, admitting that the baby was not his. The clip was grainy, shaky, but the voice was unmistakable. And the man she was talking to was blurred just enough to make everyone play detective. Comment sections went wild, pausing every second of the footage, zooming in on reflections and background details. Trying to guess who the mystery man was. Some said it was a producer, others swore it was a rapper who had been hanging around the Frost family for months pretending to be just a friend. Either way, Kirk was spiraling. He called Rasheeda over and over, but she refused to answer, and that silence was louder than any confession could be. He jumped in his car, his mind racing, replaying every moment, every suspicious look, every excuse she had made about late-night meetings. He reached home in a fury, throwing open the door only to find her there, waiting calm, almost emotionless, as if she had already made peace with whatever was about to happen. Kirk demanded the truth, but Rasheeda simply said she was tired of hiding, tired of pretending, and that everything he needed to know was already out there. He lost it, throwing his keys across the room, his voice shaking between anger and disbelief. Witnesses say the argument was so intense that security had to be called to separate them. But by then the damage was done. Videos from outside the house showed flashing lights, paparazzi yelling questions, and Kirk pacing the driveway like a man who had just watched his whole world burn. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's phone was lighting up with messages from fans, supporters, haters, and of course, her so-called close friends who suddenly wanted to offer advice on how to survive a scandal. Kirk went radio silent again for a few hours, until another leak dropped, this time a full version of the video revealing the man's face for a split second. And that was all it took. The image spread faster than wildfire, and within minutes people were tagging Kirk's longtime friend, a man who had been by his side for years, in every post. The betrayal hit harder because this wasn't a stranger, this was someone Kirk had trusted, someone he had welcomed into his home, and now the whole world knew, or at least believed, that this man was the father of Rasheeda's baby. Kirk sat in his car, staring at his phone, unable to move, as the video replayed over and over, confirming what he already feared. The face on the screen belonged to his closest friend, a man he had defended countless times in interviews and trusted. With his family, the betrayal hit him like a physical blow, and for a long minute, he just sat there gripping the steering wheel, trying to breathe before the rage took over. He slammed his fist against the dashboard and shouted into the empty car. As if the sound alone could make it all go away, he drove back home with no plan, just fury guiding him when he stormed through the door. Rasheeda was there waiting, her arms folded like she had been expecting this confrontation for days. Kirk demanded answers, his voice breaking between disbelief and anger, and Rasheeda just looked at him with tired eyes. She didn't deny it, she didn't even try to soften it, she simply said it happened and that there was no point pretending anymore. That sentence shattered whatever was left inside him. He shouted, asked her how she could do this after everything he had done for her, after all the times he had taken her back when the world was laughing at them. She told him she was done being the one who always forgave, the one who always carried the blame, that this time she was choosing herself. The words hit harder than the betrayal itself because deep down Kirk knew she meant it. He turned to the door ready to walk out, but then another voice echoed from the hallway, a voice that froze him in place. It was his so-called friend, standing there calm and unbothered like he had every right to be in that house. Kirk's blood boiled. He lunged forward, but Rasheeda stepped between them, screaming for him to stop. Security rushed in again, pulling Kirk back as neighbors gathered outside trying to record the chaos. The scene was pure madness. Kirk shouting promises of revenge, Rasheeda crying, telling him it was over and that she was filing for divorce. The friend just stood there watching like a man who had already won when it was over. Kirk found himself on the front porch, breathing hard, the sound of cameras clicking around him. He looked back through the glass door and saw Rasheeda comforting the same man who had destroyed their marriage. That sight broke him completely. He turned away, eyes red, jaw tight, knowing the life he built was gone, and nothing he said or did could fix it. As the night closed in, and the crowd outside started shouting questions, he finally whispered to himself that this story was far from over, and whatever came next would make everything they had just lived through look like the calm before the real storm. So what do you think really happened behind closed doors? Because this story just keeps getting darker by the minute. Was Rasheeda justified after everything Kirk put her through, or did she take revenge a step too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because I know the internet has opinions on this one. Make sure you hit that like button if you live for the drama, and subscribe so you never miss the next explosive update from Atlanta, because if the whispers are true, this scandal is only the beginning, and the next chapter is about to change everything forever.